Obviously, there's been a lot of chat about being a young side and a new, inexperienced team. It obviously creates a lot of opportunity for guys to step up. I mean, obviously being a World Cup year, so it would be great to play our guys that we accustomed to, but at the same time, it gives us a great opportunity for guys that haven't played, like I said, to step up. So I think the guys are really looking forward to it. We have really prepped extremely well in this week that we've been here. And me as a senior player in this team, I'd really like to step up in a lot of different areas on and off the field. Of course, we know we're up against a really strong Pakistan team, so we do respect that. At the same time, I genuinely do feel like in T20 cricket, if you prep well and you've got a great team, there are opportunities to still lose. So, I think we need to be mentally up for the game at all costs, whether we underdogs or, if we guys that are really strong in a particular team. So I think we just need to really be switched on for the specific games that we play, be in the present, stick to our processes, and I don't see why we can't compete against one of the stronger teams in Pakistan.
Ken, followed by Fidoz.
David, you're not just the most capped player in the squad, but you're also the only one who's played in Pakistan before. So presumably you're also giving the guys a bit of intel about what to expect.
I have played in Pakistan. It was a very brief moment, a brief time in my career. I think we played only 3 games against Pakistan in that World 11. But obviously being in Pakistan this week, we've quickly realised what the conditions will be, and watching the test matches, what's taken place there with, I think just generally the bounce is a lot lower than back in South Africa. I think the guys have travelled around the world enough to adapt. They've played enough conditions in South Africa where there might be particular venues that are pretty low. So I think the guys, in terms of preparation, like I said, are really in a good space. And yes, we'll have to assess as we go along and react very quickly in tomorrow's game. According to whatever the wicket gives us, but so far in the practice in the nets and where we've practiced out in the middle on the side strips, the bounce hasn't been too high yet.
Fidoz, followed by Telford, Aram, and Jabbar.
Hi, David. Yesterday, Henrik Carson spoke to us about his struggles with recovering from COVID. And I'm just wondering, you've played a lot of cricket at home and IPL and all sorts of things. What do you think are the challenges of playing cricket in a pandemic, and what's your experience been like?
I think it is something that I think still sort of getting used to. I think it takes time. The longer you play this game in the pandemic, the harder it gets, I think, because like everyone in the other teams have obviously come out. It can become really sort of and it's quite restricting at times. Obviously being in a restricted area the whole time, it's just none of that free movement that you used to. So it can be quite challenging, and I think that's an area that we have spoken about. Fortunately, on this particular tour, it's pretty short, so there's no need to stress too much about that kind of topic. But in the longer it goes on, I think it will become quite an issue. But I think it's just about sorting that out mentally, finding a place where we can come together as a team and discuss these topics within the side and try and address them as quick as possible.
Alfred?
How's it, David? Hi. Normally when a lot of the players in a squad go home, it's probably going to be not a good thing, seeing that they know the conditions and everything else. But, considering the mental toll that's been put on the test side and what happened, and it's almost a good thing that there's a whole bunch of fresh guys, isn't it? And only 4 of the guys who went through that.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I think it really is. Like I said, it's a really refreshing group of guys. It always is going to be. Yes, we're going to come under quite a lot of pressure in the games, as we would assume. But I think it's a great opportunity, like I said, for guys to step up. And I mean, obviously, it's worked out that the Test guys were going to go back and play against Australia. That's now fallen through, so it has sort of worked out in a good enough sort of situation for us to try these kind of moves. But at the same time, I think actually I know as representing your country, for us we've discussed a lot about it this week, where we actually, like Classy said, we're here to win. We know that we're representing the Proteas regardless of if you've played your first game or your 100th game or whatever. We really are here to represent the Proteas in the best possible light, and we are coming with a positive mindset to a mental frame to actually win this series, and we'd like it to be a competitive one, and really shine as much as we can.
Thank you.
Aram, followed by Jabbar.
David, you've enjoyed a good time against Pakistan. You were the man of the series in the last T20 series you played back home. So, how confident are you that you'll bring that same level of performance in these different conditions?
Yeah, very confident. It has been a long time since I've played consistent cricket or professional cricket. It's been, I think, last year March was probably my last games against Australia and England. I've played one IPL game. I've played, a couple domestic games. So I definitely do feel like I'm mentally fresh and ready to go. And coming off that previous series against Pakistan, being man of the series, you do go into a series with a lot of confidence. But at the same time, we do know, cricket is a funny game. So we always have to start again. There's new challenges, and like I said, I do feel really well prepped and organized, and we've come with enough time to give ourselves a chance to know exactly what's potting here in Pakistan. And it come with a lot of confidence into the series.
Jabbar.
Yeah, good afternoon, David from cricket.pk. This is Bazif Jabbar. Now, I often ask this question to every player, that is there any specific player from Pakistan that you are targeting or you think could be threatening for your side?
I haven't given it too much thought, to be honest with you, in terms of specific players. But I know there's the guys do come with a lot of experience, as we know. So I'm going to be sitting down this afternoon, going to this evening's training with a lot of sort of plans. But I think I'm a very sort of feel type of player. I go on instinct and feel. So for me, whatever I'm feeling on the day, and I feel like I'm on top of a certain bowler, it could be a different bowler from game to game. I'm going to go with an instinct and back myself to take him down as far as possible.
Usman, followed by Heinz.
Hello, Miller. My question is, are you optimistic to winning a T20 series away from home after getting defeated in the Test series by Pakistan? In that Test series, Proteas has played the full strength side. So, are you optimistic in the T20 series that you are going to win?
Yes, Usman, we definitely are optimistic. Like I said, we've come here to win the series, and we come with a strong mindset to compete in every department. I think, like I said, it's a new, fresh faces in the Proteas team, the T20. So we definitely don't want to be hiding away that we just building and that type of thing. We're actually here to win, and I think the guys are very capable of doing that if we really do stick to what the guys have done in domestic cricket, and in their traveling around the world for certain T20 comps. if they stick to those kind of strengths that they have, I honestly don't see why we can't take down Pakistan the series. So it is going to be a very competitive one. We know that they're a very strong team, but so are we. So it's going to be good to watch.
Heinz, then Fidos will close off with Musamil.
Hi, David. Yes, it's almost like an extension on what you said. It's an interesting dynamic that you guys have in that squad, particularly amongst the batsmen. Like you said, there's a lot of fresh faces, and perhaps a squad also that lacks international caps. But funnily enough, you also have guys like John Smith, yourself, Piet van Biljon, who actually know their games inside. I suppose that actually sort of like compensates, for a lack of international caps on paper.
Exactly that. I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head where, the guys have been around the block in domestic cricket for many years. I would say 10 years plus. So as you say, they do know their games. And ultimately, cricket it's played the same way in all different levels. The only difference is the intensity that, now has risen. So definitely intensity will be something that the guys have been obviously brought to their attention this week in preparation, and just mentally knowing that, they need to, everything is faster, but the game remains the same. So as you say, they do know their games and their strengths and weaknesses. And if the guys can just cooperate and just, gather their thoughts and under pressure, I don't see why we can't go away with a victory this series.
Fidos, followed by Musamil.
David, you mentioned wanting to step up on and off the field and your seniority. What kind of things will you be looking to do, and how are you hoping to contribute?
I think it just comes with when you've got a bit of experience and played many games for your country. I think just being secure in your role in what I want to do, which brings a lot of sort of calmness, clarity towards the squad, and certain players that haven't necessarily been in the international circuit, to give them reassurance in their role, and just looking to help out wherever you can with the youngsters off the field. And then on the field, I mean, as we all know, cricket is about performance. I mean, you need to stick up your hand and perform when the team requires you. We all do need to perform as players, but it does help when your senior players perform, and it just sort of takes the team into a completely different path, which is where we want to go. So yeah, I think definitely performance, and just stepping up in calming things, under pressure.
And then Musamil.
A quick question regarding your team's performance. Like you saw South African teams peak when you had Dale Steyn, AB de Villiers, and some other players. Now it seems like their departure brought inconsistency in your side. Do you think their departure affected your team's performance?
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult. It is a good point, because it is difficult to try and build something as a team when, a team is constantly having a different players all the time. But I do believe going into a World Cup year, I think from now until the World Cup, the squad will definitely become a lot more consistent as to who we select. But as of now, this tour, it just so worked out that there is a lot of new faces because of the test match that we were meant to play in South Africa against Australia. So it did create a lot of opportunity for new guys. But it is difficult, like I said, to build, consistency when you are playing different players the whole time. And I think that's something that we've spoken about as a team as well. And, the guys just have to take their chances when they come. And I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes down to performance. So we hope everything goes well.